Welcome back on my YouTube channel. Today we are going to break down this track.
Lift me up, make me feel like I'm the only one that you love. Nothing lasts forever, so we seize the day. Maybe we can get it going all the way.
Alright, so it sounds like, it sounds like that guy. That one guy, you know who it is. So, there's one thing, the main thing that is doing the track, what the track is, and it's the synth that is going from the start of the track, basically progressing with the auto filter straight to the drop. So, how is it possible how I recreated? So, I recreated with this funny plugin. It's called Quanta, and if you watch Imanu and if you know him, he's using a lot of this in his songs. So basically this is his kind of like a sound of his tracks. So this is Quanta, and what you can do with the Quanta, it's pretty simple. So what I have here, what you can see here in the Quanta, is actually just a sample. It's an MP3 kind of a format, and what I'm doing here with this MIDI, so there is just like one key playing, so it's like a D3. But as you can see, I have an automation on a position, and it's basically changing the parts of the MP3 and just basically replaying that part which is stuck on the position, few times in a second. So that is creating like the kind of effect. So I was really fortunate with this sample, and it's classic, really easy synth. You can try it yourself. If you buy a Quanta, you can drop a like MP3 format or WAV format here, any sample basically, and try it with yourself. You can do a lot of stuff. I just keep it really basic, really simple, and I like it. So I did a small process here, right, with auto filter and all this stuff, and then I started to introduce vocals. So I was also fortunate enough on a splice to find out the really nice vocals. Right, so this is the start. As you can see, this is my basically rack for the vocals. OTT delay, which is on the 2 ping pong, and it's like 24 dry wet with a bit of EQ just to boost the high frequencies of the vocals, and a glue compressor. So what you can notice in all of my projects is that glue compressor is basically on everything, like basically on end of each plugin rack, right? I don't know why, I just like the soft clip and kind of like a thing that is like a glue compressor. It's like gluing all the stuff, all the process to one, so it can be more fully. So that's how I process my vocals, and together with the synth, it started to create really nice idea.
Giving up my self-control, 'cause trying to keep away is hopeless.
One thing which is really noticeable in this kind of a house lofi style is nice crunchy drums. So I decided to go with kind of a clicking sound. It's this kind of a sound. So basically like a clock. And what you can do with the frequency shifter is that you can basically just shift the frequency of the sound. So this was the start, and I just kind of like a pitch it down, right, with the frequency shifter, and just make sure that the clicking is not that hard on the high end, right? So that was my idea of adding like a clock. Then I decided to add a vinyl noise, which is pretty nice for, you know, getting your tracks more together, I guess. You know, it can create the old school effect, and I can, you know, notice this sound in a lot of tracks these days, especially in the lo-fi. It's really pronounced, you know. It's like something is playing from vinyl. Then I went with the fancy kick. And with the auto filter, as you can see, I boosted the frequencies at 1K. I just found out that when you boost some frequencies for some kicks in a 1K, yeah, they can get a nice punch. So, in drop, I get this white kick, which is really nice working with the vinyl noise, also with the clock kind of a thing. Then we are making house, right? So we need a pretty crunchy clap. Here I decided to go with this kind of a sound. So it's pretty hard on the 1K frequencies, but I think when you boost the 1K frequencies with the kick, you know, it can be more cooperative drums. And, you know, it's a lo-fi kind of a house, so I decided to cut out the high frequencies from the snare, from the clap. So we can have like a kick, we can have like a crackles, vinyl crackles, then we can have like clocks, and then basically all of other stuff, which is additional clocking. And of course it's a house, so you need some rhythm that is going like off of the drums, of the kick, of the snare, and that's this kind of a hi-hat. So, you know, so it's pretty old school kind of hi-hat sounding, and I decided to go like really funny here. What you can do when you want to create more interesting drums, you can set up your one hi-hat, for example, here to right ear, and your second hi-hat can go to a left ear. So you have like this effect of wideness with your cymbals or percussions or whatever. And then I added like this, just the crackling. You know, so it's more organic and more funny. Then what you need for nice house track is of course bassline. Right, so the bassline is going really good with the lead from the Quanta. Right, on the first hit, I always add this kind of breathe sounds. Yeah, so right now when I like play it just by itself, it's pretty ear-destroying kind of a sound. You can see that it's going to the reds, and you can hear it's really shocking, really loud. But what saves this kind of a track is a really nice sidechain. So everything is dipping, everything is clean, you know, everything is separated. The drums are, you know, doing the bounce. And when you put everything together with some small effects, another breathe here, you can have a pretty interesting drop. You can hear in the second section of the drop here, I introduce back the vocals from the start of the track. Added some additional breeze. You know, it just giving a life to the track. And introduce another percussions here, which are just really soft, but I think they can do a lot in a second section. I also use this technique of using a frequency shifter to shift the frequency of the sound, basically like pitch the sound on the key, because the drums also has some key, you know. And when you set up all your track, you know, all your samples to a certain key, and if it is in one key, I guarantee you that your track will sound more professional and more cleaner. So it's kind of like a frequency shifter trick. I really like it, and yeah. Then I added cymbals, and as you can hear, there's something bit different with these cymbals. But what is it? It's an outro band. So this is kind of like a nice technique, and I've noticed this in a lot of new songs, that these drums are starting to appear in the more songs. It's basically just an auto pen on the cymbals. So you can just increase the amount and find the rate that suits you.
Building up my self-control, 'cause trying to keep away is hopeless.
One thing that I added here, just to give it an additional kind of a life to the track, is a sample of birds. You know, it's really subtle, but it can add a bit of a life to your tracks. And the second drop is basically same as the first drop. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. It's nothing horrible. What about effects? Just to have it clear, I have a really detuned kind of a riser here. You know, I like this kind of a crazy weird risers with some noise. Going back.
All the way.
You know, and that's it. It's pretty simple. I think it sounds like 100% Imanu. And yeah, this is a kind of like a nice project. Oh, there is a clock ticking. No, clock ticking, it's my watches. Actually, never wore these watches before. They are just in my closet, kind of doing this every day, which is funny. It's just reminding me it's like 12 o'clock. So, alright guys, thank you so much for listening and being here. It seems that you liked the previous video where I like go through the bootleg of Ocean Eyes. Now we have a different one. I hope you like it, and leave a like, give a comment, and I hope I can see you in the next one. Thank you so much, and peace.